Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. There's a player in World of Tanks who's called AFK Carl. Have you seen him on the battlefield? Some people may have seen AFK Carl around. Let's have a look at this tank here. Let's go. Now, this particular player is not AFK Carl. This is not AFK Carl. But he is driving the Japanese Tier 5 Mitsu 108. And I did a video about the Japanese heavies a little while ago, and I featured the Tier 8, 9, and 10. And I thought, well, most people are interested in the higher tiers. But some of you said, well, what about Tier 5, 6, and 7? We're going to feature the Tier 5, 6, and 7 today. Let me just adjust my head while we... there we go. Yeah, that's better, I think. But AFK Carl, this is not AFK Carl. This is Joseph Hines. I believe Joseph Hines picked up his strategy and learned everything he knows today in World of Tanks from AFK Carl. More about that later. But anyways, you guys said, well, why don't we go through the lower tank? Look at the size of this thing. It looks like a tog. So we're going to feature the Tier 5, the Tier 6, and the Tier 7. So consider this kind of a new content. Japanese, oh my god, look at this aim time. I'd almost rather be AFK. But he's on the board with the kill. He was, I guess, AFK for the first few minutes, and now he's going to take another 18 seconds to aim, and boom! The gun that does, remember, 300 alpha. When they showed the picture in the ads, it didn't look the size of a tog, but now you get to see it here, right? Aim for 18 seconds and miss. Aim a little lower. A little bit lower. Long aim time. This is nothing like the BDR. It's nothing like the BDR or the yeah, the BDR has 300 alpha, right? A Tier 5. What's the other one? The Boogie? Boogie Woogie. That has, I think, 300 alpha with a certain gun. This has, I guess, the gun that has 300 alpha that never hits. Oh, that time it hit. Whoa. Now, what's the shell velocity? 800 on the regular ammo. 800 on the other ammo. And 500 on the HE, even worse on the HE. So, what was my opinion of the Tier 8, 9, and 10? And I just got to check something else here to make sure that you guys can hear my... Yes, you can hear my voice. Do I have the sound level set right? I've been fiddling with sound. I thought the Tier 8 was a beast. The Tier 9 was, well, you know, whatever. And the Tier 10 was, well, whatever. Just another... Tier 10, and not as good as the what's that other one that has a really good gun depression and strong turret was the Polish. I'd much rather have the 60 TP than the Japanese one, right? The Japanese one has a big tumor on top, just like the T110E5, and it's not very mobile. So there is that, and there's no target there, but he's going to shoot. So I thought of all of them, the Tier 8 was the best, but what's the grind leading to Tier 8? And I can see just from doing commentary on this video, without playing this one, that this tank will be excruciatingly painful to play. This gun that lobs the shells in at 800 meters per second, that's really bad for sniping. It's really bad if the target's moving at all. And he doesn't have an out. Why? How come... Someone else must have killed him. If you don't see... Okay, yeah, the outlines are there. Let's see if you can hit a moving target. No. Very difficult. I mean, unless it's a KV-2, it's very difficult to hit a moving target when this kind of shell velocity. It looks like the turret traverse is terrible. The aim time is horrendous. But fully aimed? Boom, okay, 315. Alpha is good. But look at the size of it. Look at the size of it. It's ridiculous. Like if the enemy team had this is a good game. But if the enemy team had a light tank or anyone that spotted, anyone that actually moved into position and actually tried to detect the enemies, and this thing was detected, A blind shot kills him. And he types in chat, la 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 la. Thanks Wargaming, he says. That's right, you should thank Wargaming. If the enemy team... Oh, see, it's hard to lead the shot with the slow shell velocity. Now he's detected, and he's a big slug. But alas, there's only one person on the enemy team that's shooting, the KV-1. They hit him twice. I think this thing, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this aim. But you are rewarded after aiming for a long time. I think what's going to happen with this tank is you will have the majority of your games, you'll get detected and just annihilated. Unless you're playing Muppets, right? But if there's any, this is top tier. He's a tier 5 versus tier 5s and 4s. If you're going to play this thing and you get matchmaking, as you most often do with tier 5, if you get versus tier 6 and 7s, can you imagine a Type 64 running around detecting this thing and just farming it and being invisible? Look at his view range. The green circle. Any tier 6 light tank, and there's players that play like the Type 64 and the Type 62 and there's the MT25 and there's a whole bunch of them. Some really good players have their favorite tier 6 light tanks that they can go and seal club with every now and then, and they have their tanks equipped completely with concealment and view range, and any one of those tier 6 light tanks that has view range of 480 and concealment of 42 on the move, 42%. This thing will not have a chance. Or maybe in Himmelsdorf. Even then, they'll be out DPM'd by those. This will be out DPM'd by those light tanks. But I guess if it hits these, if it hits twice, this thing does 300 alpha. You could really hurt the something like a Type 64. What about the HE? Yeah, 53 pen 400 alpha. You could shoot this Type 64 twice with this and kill it if you hit. If it's moving around, it's going to be difficult with that with the HE shell velocity. But in any open map, you won't have a chance because of the view range and because of the size of this thing and lack of concealment and all the things I mentioned. So get ready to be just trolled over and over and over and over again with this tank. When you get into tier 6 games and tier 7 games, you will just be more HP for the enemy team to farm. They will make you feel foolish and you'll want to uninstall the game. You'll hate it in every single way. You'll be detected by tanks you can't see, and then the shots will start coming in and you will slowly try to move your big behemoth body into cover, and you won't find places to be in cover. And you'll hate it. You'll absolutely hate it 90% of the time. And I mean, every now and then, you'll get in a game like this, and RNG will work. He didn't have 18 seconds to aim. He just clicked, and Wargaming said, "Oh, yeah, we think you should hit that one. You've missed a few. You had 63 bad games in a row. We've noticed in your account. So, sure, why don't you hit that? It's not a Russian tank you're aiming at." So, upon viewing this replay, my verdict will be this is a complete hunk of shit. A horrible tank that I hopefully will never ever have to play, but I did tell you guys I would... is there a pixel, Yuri? Yuri, is there a pixel? Do we have pixel, Yuri? Yuri, is there a pixel? We will never know unless he presses trigger. I told you guys I would grind them, so maybe I have to. But my God, what... Talk about time wasted, right? Like, why not spend time doing something that is actually fun? Like the KV-1, orders of magnitude better. Unfortunately, this KV-1 player does not have a team. And if anybody on the enemy team moved into a position to spot early in the game, this guy would have been taken out. But he's going to be able to kill the KV-1 now, who is not... KV-1 is angling, but, well... Wargaming says, yes, you did not aim for 18 seconds, but we have looked at your performance in the last 20 games, and you have lost 19. You're on a 19-game losing streak. Your WN8 is 4. And we noticed that you're not logging in as often. You skipped 3 games after having a particularly long losing streak. So we've decided now that your RNG should work. So just press the trigger. Yeah, just don't aim. Just press trigger. Yeah. And we want you to keep playing. So now you will have a good game. Until you top up your premium account, when you deposit that $55 for an extra 3 months of premium, and then the trolling will start once again. The beatings will continue until you stop complaining. BT spoot, he says. He wants his BT7 to spoot, but the BT7 is not in a spooting mood. Just like there, the enemy light tank was not in a spooting mood, and now, oh my god.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
BT spoot! How come the BT didn't spoot? Fucking BT. What is he doing, the BT? Now, I cannot control which tanks we look at because this is his replay. There. Oh, he's focusing in on the Valentine, so we have to watch the Valentine now. If only the BT spooted for him, then he would have had an even better game. Because the BT could have moved up into position and spooted that Wolverine, and then he would have shot him. But many light tank players at this level don't like to spoot. But Jurgen Tonal brain dead bot. Look at him in the chat. Read the chat, guys. BT didn't spoot it. He is total brain dead bot. Well, he may be a bot. Wargaming will never admit it, but he may be. We will never know because Wargaming won't tell us. But sometimes there's players on your team that you wonder, well, why is he not spooting? Any light tank player knows he has to spoot. Why isn't he spooting? He could be a Wargaming bot. We don't know. Now the Valentine, as you can see, he is using the one of the 100 or 150 bushes that are scattered around this map to provide cover. He's decided to use one of them. It's a particularly small bush here. It only covers the first 3 inches of his track wheel. But at least he's not in the open. If you sit in the open, an enemy tank might spoot you. And if he does get spooted, he probably will, have that mod that tells everyone, "Team, I'm spooted at E3." Now, I think what the Wolverine needs to do now, no, not the Wolverine, the Valentine. What the Wolverine needs to do is flank up the one line. And what the Valentine needs to do is find a bush and sit in it and be ready to shoot. Because if you sit in a bush and you spoot someone, then you can shoot him before he spoots you. It's very simple, this game. I know a lot of people have trouble. Oh, now look. The Wolverine did the absolute worst thing he could possibly do, and that is go in the cap. Because now that he's in the cap, the Valentine knows where he is. The Wolverine may not know this, but when you go in the cap, a big alarm sounds on the computers of all the remaining enemy players that are still alive. And even the dead ones, I think. And so they know you're there. They know that you're somewhere in that green circle, so they can move up. And if this Valentine moves up and maybe uses one of the bushes, he won't get spooted first. And he can get the first shot on the Wolverine. Now there's a nice bush right here. Let's see if he goes in it. Oh, he's been spooted. He has been spooted. And he's decided not to move until he has been shot. But now that the Wolverine shot, he's been spooted as well. They're both spooted now, and they're just exchanging fire. And the Valentine seems to be shooting more than the Wolverine. And the Valentine wins. GG. So that was Joseph Hines from the Ray clan, who does pretty good. Look at that. 3,543 damage, 7 kills. And the Valentine, who spooted the last enemy and then won the game. Okay, we've made it to tier 6 now. And look at this. This tank is starting to look like a normal tank. It's actually not bad looking. It kind of looks like don't know, looks like a lot of the tanks in the game. This guy's in tier 6. It's Macintosherismo or whatever his name is from the Trip clan. He's in the Juno. Who knew there was a Juno in the game? Did you know? No, it's not a Juno, it's a Juno. Oh. And there goes the PZ-38NA. I wonder what he's going to do. Rushing up there, probably to get in a good position to spoot from. You guys enjoy my commentary, don't you? Okay, here we go. Look at the way the team is deploying. It looks okay, except there's too many of them camping in the middle, like hoping to, you know, snipe. Too many snipers. Not enough. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Which was a popular saying when I was at work. You'd get that a lot, right? Nothing would get done, and someone would say, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, because, you know, the managers wouldn't do anything, and the VPs and the presidents, they'll all be telling us what to do, but none of them would do anything. You'd say that. You're not allowed to say it anymore. Something to do with, I don't know, one of the nations that were first, or second, or third. But that's besides the point. In reference to this game, what I'm saying is there's too many snipers. But he's made it here. Look at this gun depression. And 200. Whoa. Oh, he hit a Mitsu. And now a steward has stopped. And they've all stopped. Why not stop in front of the tank with really good gun depression that can hit you? I hit you 1,000 times. I'm going to tell you right now, after watching this much of the game, these are my tank reviews, guys. You don't need a spreadsheet, right? You don't need a degree. It's not rocket science. This is a video game, right? Everything that you see on the screen there, except me, is imaginary. All right, and I can tell you right away, just by watching this, the rate of fire, the accuracy of the gun, the movement of the tank, and the gun depression, that at tier 6, this will be a beast. In the hands of a good player. In the hands of a good player, this thing will be a monster. Look at that. Just a monster tank. Now, he is fighting against 5s and 4s. And that's, you know, he's fighting a Matilda, probably the most powerful tier 4 tank. But it's been nerfed. The turret's been made weaker. Not that he has to fire on the turret. Look at this gun here. It's firing 150 pen, 230 alpha, but much faster rate of fire. He's low rolling everything, and he's got a premium round of 208 pen. The premium round has 1,000 meters per second shell velocity as opposed to 800. So when you're bottom tier, guys, in this thing, which you will be a lot in tier 6, you will have 208 pen at tier 6. And 1,000 meters per second shell velocity, which means just don't shoot that. Shoot the little hat on top. Yeah, yeah. So even at bottom tier, you will be able to sit back and snipe. 1,000 meters per second shell velocity, small aiming circle.
Let's go.
Pump out the damage. Right? He's pumping out the damage faster than a tiger. It's beautiful. What is there not to like? It's boxy. It probably doesn't have great armor, but at the lower when you're bottom tier, just remain undetected. You have to. When you're bottom tier, remain undetected, provide support fire with this beautiful gun. When you're top tier, just go get hull down. He's got a fairly good turret, and he's got amazing gun depression. This tank will shit all over players that don't know what they're doing, don't know how to play into the strengths of their tanks. It's not that fast, though. All of them are not that fast. But slap some turbo on it. You know, what's this guy going to do now? Well, what are you going to do? You're going to try and back up quickly? You're not going to be able to back up fast enough. And just take another shot on him. Let him have a shot. He missed, you know, or he shot HE or whatever he did. And yeah. 3,658 damage, and he's just, you know. Now, there is some fairly good honeymoon matchmaking going on. Right? These tanks just came out, and if you're grinding, You might notice matchmaking is not so bad. Yeah, okay. Keep one or two of them. Like if you're grinding to tier 8, 9, or 10, keep one or two of the ones you like and come back in 6 months and play 20 games and tell me how many games are top tier. And then leave a comment in one of my videos. Klaus, you were right. I didn't believe you. I thought the matchmaking was always random. Yeah. Well, just shoot him. You don't need to aim. Just shoot. Yeah. There you go.
Armor is damaged.
Just shoot. Don't aim. Shoot. Yeah.
Penetration.
Honeymoon. So this guy's over 4,000 damage. So I have to say
They're knocked out.
that there is no honeymoon RNG, Klaus. That's just conspiracy theory. How the hell do you think they're going to sell them? There's nothing but salesmanship in this game. You think they're going to release something and then you're going to play your first 20 games and be bottom tier every game and hate it? And uninstall the game? No. They're going to try and give you a more convenient playing experience.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
They said so in their website. We will make the gaming experience more convenient for you. Until you pay. It's the opposite of North American thinking. And here he is. Look at this game, guys. He ends up with 4,487 damage, 8 kills. Wow. And you want to know that too? These don't make sense anymore now because there's so many missions. You can't tell if they're making or losing credits. Now, guys, this is AFK Carl playing the Tier 7. And I'm not kidding about this honeymoon period. And it's like the Russians have a completely different philosophy to we do in North America and probably in Europe too. Like, the way it works here is you become a customer to a certain business and then you're rewarded for loyalty. They have loyalty programs, or if you're a customer for a long time, you get incentives and specials and whatever, right? Whereas kind of the Russian way is when you're new and you've got nothing at stake, it's you're gonna have good matchmaking and have a good experience. And when you're hooked and you're a customer, that's when the pain begins. And it says so in their matchmaking, in their patent for their matchmaker. It basically says that the more you win in a row, like of your previous, looking back 10, 20 games, the more you win, the more, I think it doesn't say worse. It says something like the more uncomfortable, or the more inconvenient matchmaking class you'll be put in it, to more chance of you losing. It will be more inconvenient. You are winning too much. You can read the patent. Look it up. Google it. They will put you in a more inconvenient matchmaker, which means you're more likely to be bottom tier and more likely to have Muppets on your team. So your gaming experience will be more challenging because you're winning too much. And if you're losing, your matchmaking will become more convenient. And you will have a better chance of having a more engaging experience. And then there's something in there that there's an exception if you're a new player. Or if you haven't played for a while, your matchmaking will be particularly good. If you've been playing for a long time and you've already paid for your 1 year of premium, we've got you on, you've been hook, line, and sinker. You're screwed for a year. That's the Russian way. Then the pain will start, the struggle of the proletariat. You will have to endure the bread lines like the rest of us. So, what are you going to do? Spend more money, that's what you want to do. Buy the new tank. Keep paying. The beatings will stop when the complaining is over. The beatings will stop until morale increases. No, I said it wrong again. The beatings will stop when morale increases. The players are complaining too much. Yeah, put them bottom tier more. Until they apologize. Anyways, okay, it's a little bit of a... Sorry. That was enjoyable for me. AFK Carl is playing the Ju2. We watched the Juno. And the Juno is the awards show for the music. The Ju2? Junie? Juno? Do you know what this tank is called? I don't know. I thought you know. No, he knows. Ju2 know? Do Ju2 people know what this tank is called? I don't know. T29. T29 made sure that he got himself into a position where he was not hauled down. Which is always good for a T29 to do that. This guy, oh, he doesn't want to linger in front of that gun. That's one of the fun tanks, and he says, help! There's a big tank over there. With a big, no, don't do it. Don't do it, not if he's in. That was a mistake. Oh! The SU shot HE, what a muppet. Everyone knows that when you have the SU-152, you have to spend credits, load the heat, and then you'll pen with 250 pen, and you'll do 700 damage. HE. Cheapskate. You low roll. You have won too many games. Your win rate over the past 10 games is above 62. Therefore, your damage rolls will be a little less convenient. Did you guys read the onslaught rules? That's what I'm referring to. They said they made all the guns aim, it's like 0.15 or 0.16 smaller. The aim circle is 0.16, like huge, right? Because if a normal tank is 0.3, 0.32, 0.34, well, they made them 0.15, so they made them like half the size. So basically, everyone hits everyone. I mean, you don't have to aim. And it says you will it'll be more convenient for you to damage the enemy. Your gun handling will be more convenient. So if they can make your gun handling more convenient, just like that with one line of code, as the Challenger leaps over the rock, I wouldn't be so surprised that there are other lines of code in the game that every now and then make things either convenient or inconvenient. We've watched Klaus Kellerman's latest video, and he is going to have a very inconvenient play in the next 20 games. His games will be very inconvenient indeed. Okay, what do I think about this one? Meh. The thing about this one, the Ju2, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. Good gun depression, although he didn't really feature it that much in this game. He's bounced a little bit. The trouble with Tier 7 guys is there are no good Tier 7 there are no good Tier 7 heavy tanks. There just aren't. And the reason is you have to fight Tier 8s and 9s. Okay, so you're gonna suck. It's very difficult, very, very difficult. And all these games, these guys were top tier. But if you're Tier 5, he's getting farmed by, just getting farmed, even on the front. So no armor to speak of, even from the front. The drowning SPG got a lot of spooting assist. The SPG was spooting him. At least we learned about spooting in this video. The thing is, there's so much of a disparity between Tier 7 and 9. The difference is so huge. Alpha of the gun, mobility, view range, like everything, right? Field modifications. Tier 8s and 9s get CVS equipment, whereas Tier 7s do not. So everyone spots you. And there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 players on the enemy team that will have Commander's Vision System. So you'll just get spotted all the time. You'll move into a bush that you're used to in Tier 5 where you're safe, and in Tier 7 you'll just get spotted. And so the disparity is what I'm saying is so huge that Tier 7 tanks are almost all garbage, except some light tanks and some SPGs, and some TDs. But the disparity, if you're driving the Tier 5, the disparity between Tier 5 and Tier 6 and 7 is you're still outclassed if you're bottom tier, but not by as much. Right? When you're driving this thing, he's a Tier 7. He might face Tier 9s. He'll face an Object 7.0 whatever the fuck. Right? He's going to face an Object what the fuck. In this thing. A T-59. Like, are you nuts? He'll get annihilated. He'd be annihilated. Jew too will die. But he did well in this game, and he ended up with 3,986 damage, 9 kills. So, there you go, guys. That's AFK Carl. Remember? There is a player named AFK Carl. I love your name, buddy. And well played, well played. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Good luck grinding these things. I think Tier 5 and Tier 8. The rest is garbage. It's my no bullshit opinion. I'll catch you guys on the next... No, not Tier 5. Not Tier 5. Wait. Tier 6 and Tier 8. Tier 5 sucks. Tier 6 and Tier 8. All the rest is garbage. I'll catch you guys on the next one.